Welcome and welcome and welcome all those on the ways of Israel. And of course, we are now being introduced. Uh, let's see if we're live. Yeah, we're live. Welcome, everyone. We are now heading towards the weekend of the 4th of July, as many celebrations have been canceled due to this COVID issue on governments intruding to the very personal lives of every one of us. We are in a stage where our liberties are right now at risk, believe it or not. I was watching this morning, even before logging in, the incredible message of Elizabeth Johnson regarding the steps that was taken in 1963 to be able to identify socialist programs in order to try to bring this country to its destruction. And we are seeing it taking place, my friends. We're seeing it taking place, and I'm still a little bit shocked that our president hasn't declared Black Lives Matter organization a terrorist organization to be listed on one of the top domestic terrorist organizations in this country. And if President Trump is watching or looking at this video, or any of the Congress people that I have been in contact with watch this, please let him know it is a must that he must declare, in addition to Antifa, he must declare Black Lives Matter organization a terrorist organization. They have many people, if you go to their website, you'll see that they have a lot of people who have been trained in the Marxist ideology. They have embraced the extreme radical Islamic position, anti-care, rather anti-Israel, anti-Jew. Their whole entire attack in Los Angeles, in the synagogues in Los Angeles, were done by members of the Black Lives Matter organization. That's undeniable. And thus we know that they are a terrorist organization, now equipping themselves with armaments in order to declare war on Americans. My friends, it is time for us to wake up. Our independence as Americans is at risk, without a doubt. And I was born and raised in the United States of America, and I have a great sense of gratitude for this country, for the liberties that I was able to enjoy to this time. Obviously, a lot of this is being brought into play as a result of 8 years of socialist agenda setting by the Obama administration. I would love to see Americans go out, since they're taking down all of the other statues that is historical, to take down the Obama statues. Let's make it very clear, if you're going to do it with one, let's do it with all of them. Take them all down. Obviously, us as religious Jews, we don't go into iconic worship or even representation. So, but even at that, what they're doing is in order to show their power of aggression and violence and force. I think we should take down the Obama statues, or any statues of any Democratic leaders in this country, because they're not Democrats. They're traitors to the very name of a democracy. They're socialists. Their agenda is to impose their values and their agendas upon all the country. Look, the whole country is in a state of coup d'état. Literally, they have us prisoners in our own home with this whole issue of the mask. And I still wonder, why is Fauci still in part of the White House? This guy has his money, his hands dirty in the whole entire pharmacology. I mean, this guy, there's been many other doctors who have different opinions than this guy, and we're going by one doctor's opinion for the whole entire country under lockdown. Listen, there's been worse disease than COVID, and yet we've been able to survive that. This is the sham, my friends. This is giving power to those in the socialist mindset that controls this whole idea. They're the ones that are making this into a police state. The Democrats are the ones that are enforcing the power of police state. You heard Nancy Pelosi not too long ago say very clearly that she wants to make this whole mask issue something that is required and demanded on a federal level. Just like she wants to do that, I'm sure she wants to also put chipping on every single American, something which is a violation of our personal body privacy, to be able to rake and reap information on every single American, which, by the way, the Obama administration was doing during his 8 years of administration under the NSA, showing and indicating to people who were against the Islamic, that were anti-Islamist, and we're talking about terrorists, extreme terrorism. Many of the voices of pro-American, pro-Republican, pro-liberties have been silenced by such medias, even as Facebook is trying to control it. They're blocking videos. They're doing censorship, my friends. I put up a video of a gentleman who spoke very, very proficiently regarding the issues of how social media, how our media presses are basically cahooting into the whole idea of keeping the public ignorant by creating a narrative completely contrary to what's really taking place. Now, I've been posting on my Facebook page here on Ways of Israel, and I've already been blocked some of the videos. They blocked a couple of videos that I posted in order so it would not reach my friends, the people that are watching. But it's something urgent. We're going to go to 4th of July, and unfortunately, it's not a very pleasant 4th of July because a lot of things are being limited and cut off from public gathering. Keep in mind, one of the things that I remember my parents telling me when the revolution took place in Cuba, the communist or socialist revolution took place in Cuba, was just that. They wanted to make sure they kept people away from being able to gather. Till this day, it's prohibited to be able to gather people together, to be able to form clubs and religious meetings of any sort in order to keep people divided while they have their snitch in every single group in the country. Just like they have their snitch, believe it or not, communist operatives are in our government, in our Congress, and we need to get rid of these individuals. Whether it is by vote or by any other form, we need to get rid of them. And you could understand what I mean, any other form. I'm not being sarcastic or hidden by this matter. They need to be removed. They need to be neutralized. They need to be removed from the face of the United States. They're not worthy to be partakers of the American liberties that we all enjoy. They have declared war on Americans. They have gone to commercial businesses. They have gone to people's homes, and they've invaded, just like what happened over there on the East Coast, where they began to provoke. This is provocation. The peaceful citizens that basically felt threatened, carrying weapons, which is a right of the Constitution. And what happens? I can't believe it. In our own country, what happens? The city attorney is declaring an investigation. These people did nothing wrong. Had they jumped the property, and they broke into the property, by the way, and they restrained themselves from shooting these individuals that had their shirts as Black Lives Matter. My friends, what's going to take place is a massacre of Black Lives Matter people, because these people are terrorists and they're aggressors. They're going and provoking police officers, people of law and order, so that they have to then tackle them down, beat the living daylights out of them, which I don't see no problem with that when they become an aggressor. This morning, a whole issue took place because the police officer punched in the face a lady that was without a mask, screaming, and had her face right like to his nose and insulting him. My friends, the very moment you spit and begin to try to contaminate a peace officer, that is an aggression. It is against the law. And he felt threatened for his life. And what did he do? Boom! And you know what? I said, it's about time. It's about time police officers don't take it anymore. And police officers, I'll be honest with you, I support you. You've gone through enough problems and hell by these Black Lives Matters protesters. I'll be honest with you, thank God I'm not in the police force. Thank God I'm not in the military. because I don't know what I would have done. I probably would have gone completely chaotic and just shoot them all up. I mean, I'm being honest with you. But thank God I'm not involved in that, because I know my levels. You know, I'm very peaceful, tranquil, love to live in peace with everybody and work with everyone. But these people are provoking. These are not peaceful demonstrators as the press is trying to have you think. These are provocateurs. They're provoking the anger and the division in this country. And we have individuals in our Congress that are leading this entire thing. We have Ilhan Omar, we have AOC, we have the squad that needs to be removed out of Congress, as I repeat, and I will say it again, either by votes, by us voting them out, voting for whoever's running against them and making sure that's possible, or by any other means. These are individuals that are attempting to destroy the democracy of this republic, of peaceful America. This is what they're doing. Do they have a right to march? They have a right to do whatever they want, except getting into your face, threatening you, and actually harming your life and property. And this is what they've been doing. All of these peaceful marches have not been peaceful. And the media is lying to you. Oh, there was a peaceful march on the street of here in Miami, off on I-95, blocking traffic, destroying property, not only public property, but also private property, destroying and breaking windows of commercial businesses. And who the heck is going to pay for that? I tell you who should pay for that. No taxpayer money should be paying for that. None whatsoever. What the money that should be coming out of is the pocket of their hides, of their money, and a lawsuit should be completely filed against these people. I'm talking about a class action suit against Black Lives Matter organization. Notice I say Black Lives Matter because I'm 100% in favor that Black Lives Matter, also Latino Lives Matter, which is, by the way, hush in the press, and also White Lives Matter, Jewish Lives Matter, and peaceful Islamic Lives Matter. Why I say peaceful? Because we are seeing more and more of the militant Islamic radicals like the Farrakhan that should have been liquidated a long time ago. He should have been liquidated the very moment he called on hate and war against not only fellow Americans, not only against Jews, but even white Americans. And yet we have the American Defense League making a treaty and an agreement with them. Shame on you. You don't make peace with people who want to kill you. You don't make peace with people that want to destroy your life and your community. You don't make peace with people who wish to see you 6 feet under. Shame on the American Defense League. They're no longer a defense league. They're basically watered down. Like many corporations now are jumping to the bandwagon of the Black Lives Matter terrorist organization, giving them more money than they can use to be able to continue this riot. What am I talking about? In Israel, we had a big problem. What was the problem? Is that the Palestinian organization began to give money to terrorists to blow themselves up in front of marketplaces. This is what we're talking about, my friends. We're not talking about peaceful people. We're not talking about a people that wants to live in harmony with the rest of the community. No, these are people that wants to destroy peace, that wants to destroy, in their minds, what we have here. You know, as far as I'm concerned, they could take Ilhan Omar and send her back to Somalia. Let her do her revolution over there. I'm sure they'll give her the welcome mat very easily and very open. That's how I feel. And I'll be honest with you, we need to defend our rights here. None of these Democrats in Congress are doing that. Just the opposite. They want to enslave you with more taxes, with more bills, with more laws, and yet they themselves will not submit to them. Why? We need major change in Congress. We need to have the Congress members have term limits, all of them, including the Senate. Have them term limits, not more than at least 2 terms, and that's it. And then out you go. Our government is in a crisis because our leaders have been bought by the corrupt money of this society, of the interests of the socialists. Imagine this. Just imagine what I'm going to say here. You have all of these billionaires that want to have a world-controlled government. We know who they are, the Soros, the Gates, and many other ones, even Fossey. Fossey is like completely, you can see his mouth completely drooling for the opportunity to take power and declare another pandemic so we can be still in a state of fear and terror and enslavement to his words. And I completely shocked. This man should have been fired a long time ago from the Trump administration. His medical advice is not solid. There are other medical doctors, epidemiologists, who have said just the opposite of what he's saying. And he's mimicking the World Health Organization, another organization that is trying to take a world control. The United Nations is also trying to create a one world government in conjunction with all of this, trying to put Obama as its president. My friends, those of you who saw my video about Obama, before Obama got elected, I mentioned to you that this man, even from the areas of Gematria, is not a good man at all. The content of his character is evil, pure evil. His deception has increased and is pushing people to the brink of a civil war. This man, his associates, were not good people either. Jeremiah, that ultra-extremist hate monger, screaming out loud his position in favor of Obama. Obama is not out of office. Obama is working behind the scenes to destroy this government, to destroy America, and to be able to establish his vision of a one world government. Unfortunately, Hillary Clinton didn't make it. She was shocked by the winning of Trump. Trump himself was in shock that he won. But you know what? He's done more for this country by bringing people back into employment. And lo and behold, we get this virus that was, by the way, created in a laboratory, funded by the Gates, funded by the Fossey medical donation that they gave to them, and yet they knew it was coming. They knew it was happening. They knew. I, as an American, am upset as hell. Upset as hell to see that these corrupt individuals are in government. We know the information and there's no arrest. Our own CIA, our FBI, our entire infrastructure of defense is completely disabled. Disabled because they're letting it happen. No one is doing anything in arresting these communist socialists that are completely dressed as Black Lives Matter members. My friends, it's not an issue about race. Let's get over that already. Many of the black community have already said this is not an issue about race. It's enslaving them even further under this whole Black Lives Matter organization sympathy. And the corporations and the individuals that represent them are succumbing to the social, quote unquote, the social new changes. You know, we have to adapt to this new social norm, which means socialization of socialism. No, my friends, we don't have to adapt to the new norms. We don't have to adapt to their mindset that communism is okay, that we can all receive a salary on a weekly basis, monthly basis, and health care for free, and this for free. Everything for free will eventually cost you your liberties. Don't you know that? Haven't you learned that yet? Well, that's the reason why they started educating socialism in the school, making it a palatable option instead of what we've had. That's why they began to educate you in school this socialist, communist garbage that has been wreaking and destroying our system. That's why Elizabeth Johnson's message that I posted on my Facebook is right on the dot. They started taking God out of the school. The Lubavitcher Rebbe says, no, we got to put God back into school. So if you're an Orthodox, if you're a Jew, keep in mind, God in us is the hope of glory. It's the hope of this country. It's the hope of Israel. Not the opposite. Taking God out of our lives is contrary to the very founding of this country's establishment. We were created by a creator. How many documents we have? Oh, no, let's change the Constitution, they say. Therefore, bringing in whatever is relatively convenient and socially convenient to them, not according to the laws of God's nature. And I'm sorry, my friends, we are at war, yes. We are not more than just at a war of culture. We are in a war of ideals and beliefs in which this country was established. Once we lose that, America will no longer be the America. It will be another part of a one world government. And that I'm fighting tooth and nails to make sure it doesn't happen. How can you help? I'll tell you how you can help. You can help by making sure that in all of these districts that we have Democrats in there, and I'm referring to Democrats as socialists from here on, Democrat socialists, to make sure their seats become empty November 2020. Yes, I'm getting involved politically, even though I don't like to, because I like to stay only on the religious topics, non-political. I don't like the politics, but I'm seeing what is happening, and our religious leaderships are not to be found.